Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Alright folks, I want to go back into the all-out war today, and we're going to take a look at some of the more advanced aspects that are outside of just the daily contributions that you should be doing. So the important thing to understand is that you are in a faction. You need to do what your faction wants you to do. Hopefully you have good leaders that are being clear about what they want from you, but it is important to understand what the different, things are that you could even be doing. So, as you can see on the big map here, we just recently had all the extra buildings unlocked outside of the middle bit, and then each of these little corners haven't been unlocked, but a lot more of the map is here. And so now there are a lot of new things that we're able to do. So, first of all, what we have now found is that there are certain buildings, like this one here, that has an extra armory. Or an extra barracks, I should say, sorry. And this is just, it's not our main keep. This is just a military city 4 right here. And then we also have this military city. And this military city is military city, military city number 2. This one also has a barracks. So what is really cool about this is that this now means that when I want to go and build some new troops, I have a choice of where to build those troops at. I can build them in my Tempest Keep, or I could build them at one of our new military cities. And the nice thing about that is that then my troops are that much closer to the action, because just like in Glorious Battle, a huge aspect of this event is resilience. Okay, you want to keep your resilience high. So it's really important to send a lot of your grain to these military cities. That way you're able to fund building more troops from this city. This individual warehouse will determine how much grain or wheat, I should say, we have to create troops there. Now, the caveat I will say with that is that unlike in Glorious Battle, where resilience was kind of a set thing that was based on how far you'd walked, it is like that, but there is now a way to recover resilience, okay? And that is if you have a troops in logistics state. Okay, so again, it's important to get your troops as far out as possible, and you want them to minimize their walking time, but the way around it is with troops in the logistics state. So, what does the logistics state mean? Well, this is my troops that are in logistics state, and as you can see, they have this little icon next to them indicating that they're in logistics. Basically, what you should understand about that is that it means that those troops are able to pass on the grain that they have into other particular uses. So, for one, it might be so that they can recover resilience, or it could also be so that they can heal allies. Understand, if you have a troops with a medic vehicle, there is no reason to have them in any state but logistics. You need them to be in logistics, that way they can actually heal and give resilience. This is huge, because if you think about it, it is a way for you to, no matter where your troops are, get them back up to 100 resilience whenever you want by just spending a little bit of wheat and then using it. But it's important, you only have a limited amount of wheat. My troops have a full 1.7 million wheat right now, but as they are healing and as they're using resilience, and as they're giving resilience, they use their wheat. So once you get low, you need to restock your wheat. That's why it is so important to have a big stockpile of wheat at all times so that everyone can have a full medic cart full of wheat. That way they can recover resilience and heal their allies no matter where they are. As you can see, we have a bunch of these different troops that have large medics. Everyone should have one. It is just so valuable and so helpful. And that's a great way around the resilience issue. Because it is really a grain-intensive event. But that's why it's so important that you have everyone doing all the different important different activities that we need them doing. It's important that we have people mining silver, brass, and obsidian, but also we need people to gather grain. We don't want to forget about how important that wheat is to our success. Ooh, I think I clicked on the wrong thing there, sorry. Perfect. So it is so important to make sure that we're getting as much wheat as we can, because wheat is so valuable when it comes to getting medic troops or sending troops to further locations. So that's the best way to lower the resilience that you're going to have when you're fighting. The other thing that I wanted to talk about here is about, kind of following with what your, your group is doing. Basically, it's really important to make sure that you have a path to wherever you're going. So as you can see, there's kind of a clear-cut path along each of these that connects you to where you want to go. But within each of those gaps, there are all these little villages. And as you can see on the map here, each of these little dots is a village that you need to take. As you can see, there are a lot of villages that we haven't taken yet because there are just so many of them, and we don't, frankly, need all of them. But someone needs to take them because you need to link up a path in order to get to the next village, to get to the next objective. And what you can do is set up blockades where you have villages set up, and that makes it very difficult for anyone to get by you because you have all those villages taken. They basically are like waypoints. You need to have them all connected, that way you can navigate around. And having control of all the villages makes it so that people can't come and attack your main buildings before they go through the villages. Now, as you can see, some of them are bubbled. This is when you have a fortress next to it. It's very, very helpful to have these fortresses since they can give you protection for your villages. And as you can see, when you have one fortress here, it protects all of the ones directly around it. So that's really, really helpful, and a real key is to make sure you have those villages. The problem is that this takes a long time. It's not something that can happen quickly. You need all of your lines to come together and join in so that you can help rebuild something. As you can see, this village was under attack. It's now being rebuilt. There are currently basically 3 people in there, and it's going to take a while to rebuild all of this. As you can see, it moves just 10 per troops, so they're going up 30 per second. That's going to take a little while if we don't get more people in there. It's just a long, arduous thing. So it's important that you're all together, that you know where are we rebuilding villages, what villages do we need to take, and doing that as quickly as possible because you want to have them all set up so that whenever a new bubble drops or whatever else it is that you want to take, you want to be able to take that as soon as possible. Okay, last thing I want to cover in this video is kind of just the way that you declare. So it's very similar to Glorious Battle in that when you declare on something, it basically starts this battle countdown. As you can see, they declared, and it takes 10 hours between declaring to actually begin attacking something. The attacking mechanism, you've probably already seen videos on it, but basically you're going to attack and you need to take control of their municipal city center. My understanding is that people are kind of just going at it the whole time, fighting. They've got those archer towers raining down on people, so you really want to be careful about attacking alone. Make sure you're doing it with the rest of your faction. But even the NPCs can be pretty tough. You don't want to try and do it alone. You really want to do it with the rest of everyone else there in support. That way you can take it together. As with any event like this where it's kind of seems individual, the way to win is together. You want to be with the rest of your faction, just like in Siege of Winterfell. Fighting in numbers is always going to win out over strength. So I hope this helped you guys in understanding some of the intricacies of, how exactly the all-out war works. It's a really fun event, but there's just a lot going on, and you want to make sure you understand how all of it works, whether it's the resilience, whether it's the villages, or whether it's just why you need all these different resources. So I hope this was helpful, and until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr. I'll see you then.